Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
As far as YouTube is concerned, we would like you to like it and subscribe to our podcast.
Yes, you know how you can find our YouTube page?
How?
You go to YouTube and just type in Tech Time Radio.
That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
Like, and subscribe.
Like them. So you need to visit us online also at Twitch. You know what our Twitch page is?
I imagine it's at Tech Time Radio.
That's correct. If you just go to any twitch.tv and you look for Tech Time Radio, we come on up as Tech Time Radio. So visit us on Twitch, subscribe there because you can see the live feeds themselves. And guess what?
What?
We also have a page on X. Okay,
so what is that? At Tech Time Radio?
That's at Tech Time Radio or hashtag
Tech Time Radio. The point is,
yeah,
if you like our show, like and subscribe to our social media. Okay, so I think that's pretty much covers it. Like and subscribe to our social media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Nathan doesn't get liked a lot at home, so he's begging for everybody.
Please like us. Please like us. That's right. Okay. Thank you, guys. Remember, techtimeradio.com.
Techtimeradio.com.
All right.
Like us and subscribe.
Or subscribe and like us.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side. With leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Well, welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology news of the week, the show for the everyday person, talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. Each week our show covers the weekly top technology subjects without a political agenda. We verify the facts and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And of course, with a little whiskey on the side. We are live streaming our show on 5 of the most popular platforms today, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, X, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host, a technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. Today in the studio, we have our co-host, Mike Warday, and Mark Gregoire, our whiskey tech time taster. Mike's an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. Mike's a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology. Mike's here to keep me from geeking out while providing insight into human behavior and how it interacts with technology. Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur and senior technical executive with a 30-year record of establishing technology solutions, is in studio again today. He's a skilled whiskey drinker and our go-to pick-of-the-day expert. We are friends from different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. Buckle up as our producer Odie is at the control panel. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, we examine the potential merger of two media giants, Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Global. Have you heard about this in the news there, Mike?
No.
Yep, so they're talking about having a merger between each studios. It's a $38 billion market value if they do that. The streaming portfolio could rival Netflix and Disney+, but there's a twist. As the talks were heading up, National Amusements, the owner of Paramount, said it was hacked. Was it an inside job? Who stands to gain or lose from this deal? We'll explore this as our top story of the day. Then our monthly Chat About Chat segment, we talk with our latest AI expert, Phil Hennessy, on Google's program called Gemini. The new system can generate natural and engaging conversations on any topic. How does it work? What can it do? And is it better than ChatGPT? We're going to take a look at all of that. Phil is joining us, of course, to give us the lowdown on all things AI. And then finally, we have a Nathan Nugget. Now, we have moved our Nathan Nugget that I've been trying to get to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, to our top third story for our news cycle so that we can get through it today. And then I have another nugget because I have been so upset. This is what I tried to do. I tried to watch Beverly Hills Cop. Have you seen Beverly Hills Cop?
Yes.
An 80s, 90s icon movie show, right?
Yes.
Okay. So guess what? Beverly Hills Cop 1 is only available on Comcast. Beverly Hills Cop 2 is only available on Paramount Plus.
Okay, why would you want to watch 2?
Well, 2 is pretty good. 1 and 2 are pretty good. The 3 was a 3 is where they go to the amusement park with kind of like the Disneyland takeoff. Not really good. But I was so confused because I couldn't find out where the stuff was located. I had to go online. I had to search for it. I have a solution. I have 5 apps we're going to be talking about in my Nathan Nugget that combines all the streaming services together so you can just put in what you want to watch, and it comes up and actually shows you. We talked about this 2 years ago, and now there are 5 companies out there that have apps that you can your Disney Plus, your Comcast.
You have to subscribe to all these places.
Oh, well, some are free.
It?
Some of them you have to pay. So we're going to talk about the benefits of each of these.
It's a big trading scam.
It's a big trading scam?
Yeah. They're sitting around going, all right, we're gonna do Beverly Hills Cop on this program.
Well, because the rights changed. The problem is the studios that did them changed.
I know. So it's a pain in the neck though when you're going on like things like Amazon Prime and you like get your you haven't watched this. Let's watch Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And you can get the first and the third, but you can't get the
second
one in the middle. And you can't get.
And they got to go to a different station to get them. Or then they say they come up in the searches, and then when you go to actually watch them, it's like, oh, that's $1.99 to rent it. Yeah. It's like, well, that's not really free then. So we're going to talk about that. Yeah,
evil.
It was So that's our Nathan Nugget there. All right. In addition, of course, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, our technology fail of the week, and a possible absolutely Nathan Nugget. So sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to Tech Time Radio. As always, we have our pick of the day whiskey tasting during the commercials to see if our selected whiskey pick of the day gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. Now, this is a Canadian. We were talking about this Canadian.
I'm not real sure about that.
I don't know. Is Mark coming on back and giving us good stuff, or is Mark giving us some Trader Joe's type whiskey sitting on the shelf that he's trying to get? We'll take a look at that. All right, now. Though.
He's making faces about it. So
I know. He's kind of laughing over there. You notice he hasn't had any of his whiskey.
He said it reminds him of Christmas.
Right
I don't know what kind of Christmas that would be.
Oh, that's all right. Okay.
Bad Christmas.
Let's start our top technology stories of the week.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, story number 1. Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Global have held talks about a possible merger of the 2 media giants. The deal would create a global media giant, again at $38 billion, and a strong streaming portfolio that could compete with Netflix and Disney+. But as talks heated up, CBS Paramount owners' National Amusement was hacked. We have our L.A. reporter Tom Geiken with more on the story.
National Amusements, the cinema chain and corporate parent giant of media giants Paramount and CBS, has confirmed it experienced a data breach in which hackers stole the personal information of tens of thousands of people. The private media conglomerate said that hackers stole the personal information of more than 82,000 people during a December 2022 data breach. Details of the breach only came to light a year later, after the company began notifying those affected last week as a Christmas surprise. National Amusements owns more than 1,500 theater cinemas nationwide, but the company is best known for its controlling stake in Paramount and CBS following the Viacom-CBS merger in 2019. Back to you in the studio.
All right, so
it took a year, huh? It took a year.
There you go. Perfect. You're on top of it. It took a year for the breach, for them to notify everybody that they had a breach.
Yeah, they're like, Merry Christmas. Last year at this time, your data was
filthy animals.
stolen.
Now listen to what happened, okay? Now, essentially the breach happened over a year ago. Now, they actually discovered that the breach happened in August of 2023. So essentially they had been breached from 2022 to August 2023.
It really doesn't raise the confidence levels when you find out that the people who are running these things do not even know that something has been breached.
Guess who their security company is?
Oh, no.
This is a Christmas miracle right here.
Oh, no.
Guess who their cybersecurity experts,
no.
FireEye, is their security components that was unable to detect the breach that happened.
It took them over
9 months to detect the breach that was in their system. Those guys are so horrible. All right, well, you know what? Don't worry about it because a data breach essentially only stole information regarding financials, bank account numbers, credit card numbers, and a combination associated with security codes, passwords, and other secret words. So, like your mother's maiden name and all those secret words. All of that was breached on it. So nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
The stolen data was related.
It's a good thing that I regularly, change my credit card.
Well, I would have said was it last night or the night before? Essentially, one of my credit cards that I never use. It's my Alaska Airlines card that I fly with if I do a travel. All of a sudden, it started getting these charges randomly, too. And my wife says, "Did you just subscribe to Hulu?" I'm like, "No, I did not just subscribe to Hulu." So she canceled it. But just think of if you're one of the employees, every employee within the media conglomerate were breached, plus many other high-ranking executives. Now, it's not clear what kind of cyber attack the company experienced or whether it received a ransomware demand or has paid the hackers, because Rachel Lula, the spokesperson for National Amusements, did not respond to any request from any media outlets regarding what happened. Current spokespeople for CBS and Paramount also did not comment, but said please contact the National Amusement for more information.
That's don't look at us. Look over there.
Now, Paramount is really good about having your data available for free on the internet because they actually had another separate incident in August, according to the filing with Massachusetts Attorney General, in which the hackers took personal information on an unspecified number of customers. The hackers stole Paramount customers' names and date of birth, as well as Social Security numbers and other government-issued identifications, according to the notice. So there you go. So, they're talking about being a merger.
There's just no getting away from this.
It's just everywhere now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know. I would think that there's so much information flooding the market that they can't even make money on it anymore.
No, that would be. So the money's pretty.
We should just all have a page with all of our information just right up there on a splash, and this is my Social Security number. These are my current.
Well, they have that. Really, they have that available, so I can find out a lot about Michael Day and Nathan.
Just do it. www.myinformation.com.
If you're going to get breached, you might as well just put everything out there. So don't limit what you should put out there. The other way is if you just put everything that you ever have,
pictures of my trash,
everything out there, so that then when you get breached, at least they have to go through and siphon all of that. All right, well, let's now move on to story number 2. Hopefully, it's a little bit better on our holiday.
I don't know.
edition.
We're gonna go over to jolly old England for this one.
All right.
They have been testing an AI, and I have this weird thing that you keep giving me these AI things.
Yeah.
Stories so that you can sell me on this stuff.
You know what? After you just get beaten down so much,
the acceptance
becomes
work.
there. Okay.
When they're using it for things like this is fine. But when we're talking about what we're going to be talking about
the next 2
later,
stories are feel-good stories, so we got some good ideas here.
Anyway, over in England for the past month or so, they have been testing a deer deterrent using AI, which has been utilized successfully on a mile of track between Peterborough and Grantham. Now, I had to look on the map. I have no idea where this is, but there's a mile-long portion of this track that has this system on.
I think it's a big deer crossing area where they would have tons of fatalities and all of that before. So I think they chose a big area.
Well, yeah, the automated deer deterrent system uses sound and vision sensors to identify when a deer approaches the track. And then when it does detect that or a deer approaches, it uses a variety of audible and visual alarms that basically scare it away. The alarm aims to deter the animal away from the tracks and has AI camera monitors that watch its movement until it has been diverted to a safe distance. Traditional methods of deterring deer from railway tracks include train-mounted whistles, which are unreliable, and high fencing, which can be costly. The system has deterred an average of 50 deer per week since the start of testing. Oh, they've been testing it since May, so that was something I was not aware of. Around 8 incidents of deer being hit by trains in the trial area would have been expected in the period, but only 1 has been reported, so it's working better than they thought. The system will be rolled out to other sections of the East Coast Main Line, which stretches between London's King Cross and Edinburgh, and experience high rates of deer incursions. The Innovation Officer Danny Gonzalez said, "Our first deployment of this innovative system to deter deer has quickly proven that the solution can save time, stress, and most importantly, deer." The train operators worked in partnership with Network Rail to develop the scheme, and route engineer Joe Priestley said that protecting the deer and and reduce disruption and delays for passengers has been a success. So hopefully we'll start seeing stuff like that more regularly, especially in the U.S. So.
Well, that's kind of, deer in a headlight type of deal. I drive back roads, and when they see lights and stuff, they literally just freeze, right? I mean, it's just something in their instincts where they just freeze. So if they can,
that's a fight or flight response.
Yes, and so most of the time they just kind of.
That's because when they freeze, something that uses visual acuity can't see them. They disappear from view. So. With cars and trains, it doesn't work so well.
Okay, so this would be a good. This is a good AI story.
Yeah. You keep throwing these at me.
Here you go. Story number 3, another beautiful AI story.
We're going to talk about the freaking geese now.
All right, okay. This has been sitting as the Nathan Nugget for way too long, so we moved this story up into our top news story so we can ensure that this story gets covered. Researchers have developed a new facial recognition tool with AI that can ID geese based on their beaks.
I know, because telling geese apart is really important.
Well, let's go to Corinne Westland for more on the story.
A few years ago, Sonia Kleindorfer was interviewing to become the director of the Konrad Lorenz Research Center for Behavior and Cognition in Vienna, Austria. Konrad Lorenz was a famous Austrian biologist who spent much of his career studying the behavior of local greylag geese. Famously, his students presented him with a plaque that had 30 goose faces on it, and he could name them all. Kleindorfer felt a certain amount of pressure as the new director to learn how to tell the geese apart. But Sonia Kleindorfer just couldn't memorize that many, so she contacted a more technically minded colleague and asked him if he could write a program to distinguish these faces. It took a couple of years, but the team reports that their goose recognition software is now about 97% accurate. This AI program was a relief for the Konrad Lorenz Research Center director, Sonia Kleindorfer.
Well, that certainly is helpful to, keep away awkward circumstances. Oh, there's George. No, that's not George.
Well, okay, hang on. So let's talk about this. All right. So Mark should be ecstatic about this. He's been waiting for this article to be on there.
We've been putting this one off for
a while. So we moved it up. So what happened is this gal took over as this main director in charge of this
Research Center.
Yeah, district center. That essentially she wanted to be just as adequate as her predecessor. Her predecessor was much better at memorizing and could tell geese apart. So she ended up quizzed, probably.
I don't know.
And teased by people.
I'm pretty sure that his memorization was because he worked. That was his thing. His thing were geese.
Okay.
Her thing, not geese.
No, her thing is thinking outside of the box. So instead of just trying to memorize the geese, she could only get like 5 or 6 at a time. She said that, and she was struggling, and then she couldn't tell the difference of it. So she went to a friend and said, "Hey, buddy, can you help me develop a system that looks at geese?" Now, it wasn't easy, though. They had to go on out and they had to film tons of geese, all these pictures, 2D and 3D pictures that were put together so they could get the beak sizes, the feather sizes, and everything together to put this together and create a master database. And this database is for free, available for people to then actually use it for other AI areas.
So
this isn't the
I
first
can take
thing.
a picture of the geese that's around my yard and be like, "Hey, who's this?"
Well, so my wife has this app where she takes a picture of plants, and it actually tells you what type of plants.
Yeah,
we're
it's like Google Lens.
Yeah, so essentially what this is it's now creating an app where
Geese Lens.
soon you could just take a picture of a geese and you can say, "Tell me what this is." Now, this isn't the first app to do this. You know that bees and bears also have apps where they can track all different types of bears and all different types of bees.
Bees and bears have their own apps.
Well,
now.
Do you know what's interesting is that
they
bees
track
are the most
us while we're doing our stuff.
Well, bees are considered to be the toughest insect to identify because people don't know the difference between yellow jackets and bumblebees and hornets. So people
that's because we simplify everything and be like, "Oh, those are bugs."
That's okay. So there you go. All right, I thought that was a great story. Well, that ends our top technology.
It's just good to know that if a geese comes calling, I won't be I won't have to.
Geese have great memories too, though. So you
Yeah,
got to
so
be
do-
careful because
yeah,
they
so
will
do
remember
crows.
you. So if you run away from them, they'll know
I guess you
you're
need
fearing
that. I
flight.
guess you need that when you're talking to them, so that I remember your face, but you can't remember mine. Honk.
That's right. That ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on, we have our Chat About Chat segment with Phil Hennessy after the commercial break. You'll not want to miss.
Geese?
What's that?
We're going to talk more about geese.
Well, we can. You know what? It's going to be an open potpourri of questions. Are you ready for this?
A plethora of potpourri questions.
There you go. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mum. We'll see you after this commercial break.
This is Mark
And Greg.
for Copiers Northwest
With a terrific offer.
called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
as long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
Or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mum. Tech Time is a weekly hour technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself and Mike Corday. We just had our first whiskey tasting during the break, and now we have Mark in studio to tell us what we are sipping in our pick of the day.
That's right. We are sipping the Alberta Premium Cast Strength Rye.
Wow. It was a bite, man. That was heavy duty.
Yeah, I like what Mark said.
19.
You got to be a man to drink this.
Is that what you got to be? Okay.
This is where you sidle up to the bar and order it with
Nice and
human hair in it.
smooth.
Look at that. He just takes a shot like it's no big deal. But
So let me tell you what Alberta Distillery says about it, you weaklings.
Okay.
They said exceptionally smooth
All right.
with notes of caramel, vanilla, and hint of chocolate, balanced with the spiciness of rye and black currant. Smooth and lingering with the complexity of spice, warm vanilla, and dark fruit that keeps you coming back for more.
I taste the
It
chocolate. a
actually
little bit.
tastes pretty good
It does. Yes.
after you get past
After you get past the bite.
the bite.
Yeah, this is from the company that releases this is Beam Suntory. The distillation is from Alberta Distillers in Calgary, Alberta. It is a rye. It's non-age stated, but they claim it's over 5 years old. It is 127 proof, 100% Canadian rye, and it goes for roughly $80. And there's no secondary on this one because it's fairly readily available when it comes
Hey,
out.
this is pretty good.
Seriously.
You watched Danish Brew, right?
Is that what you did this week? You
No.
just watched all these really old movies?
No,
and-
I'm just saying, like, when I think of Canada, the first thing I think of is the movie Strange Brew.
yeah, that's
Rick Moranis. Come on, that's a classic, right?
Yeah, Luke, I'm your father.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right. Okay. Well,
come
Wow,
to the
that-
dark side, you knob.
that's right. This is pretty good. Thank you, Mark. I can't wait to hear the mumble about how this is produced or what today is. So we're going to continue on with that. Great. Now let's move to our feature segment. Today we have Phil Hennessy back with our Chat About Chat monthly segment. Get ready to dive deep into the exciting world of Google's latest innovation, Gemini. This powerful AI model comes to us in 3 distinct versions. I guess they couldn't release one. So they have the Ultra, the Pro, and the Nano, each tailor-made for your specific needs. Let's dive in with Phil to unravel the mysteries of this AI powerhouse and start the segment.
Welcome to the AI segment, Chat About Cat, with our Tech Time guest, my favorite humanoid, Mr. Phil Hennessy.
All right, Phil. Welcome to the show. Happy holidays. How was your holiday
Happy
events?
holiday. It was great. We got to see a lot of neighbors and ate too much and drank too much. So life is good.
That's all right. That's a great holiday. Isn't that?
Hey.
That's what the holidays are all about, right?
Is that what alcohol?
alcohol.
Football.
That's right. Oh, okay.
Well, Christmas is all about basketball nowadays. I think
Basketball.
Right?
Well, the
see
NFL had games too on.
I see the NBA is really pushing the Christmas Day basketball.
Yeah,
stuff.
they have the Laker game and another game and another game. All right. Well, where are you coming from today, Phil? You coming from beautiful
Florida, they're south of Sarasota, Florida. It's in the 70s right now. Life is good.
Shut up, Phil.
All right. That sounds perfect. All right. Now, Google has a new product, and it's called Gemini. Can you explain what this AI tool or effort is all about?
Yeah, it's a new AI engine. Notice they don't call it a large language model or a chat bot. Because it's
okay. Explain that. Hang on
Yeah.
for the everyday person. Yeah. What's a large language model and a chatbot? Explain the difference of those.
So ChatGPT, when you type something in, you to give it a prompt or a question, and it'll give you an answer, right? So it is Bing does the same thing as ChatGPT, and the old Bard that from Google did the same thing. It was a chatbot only, mostly text interface, right? Okay. A multi-model AI engine it can take text, it can take code, it can take audio, it can take video, it can take pictures.
Okay.
So we can take different things and review it and do stuff with it that you ask it to do.
Okay. All right. That's a good. Okay. All right. So the Google failed in the Bard type of release. It sounds like so they're trying to come out with something a little bit better and a little bit newer. Is that kind of what Gemini is about?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about. And I wanted to kind of talk about some of the examples to give people idea of the multimodal, if that's okay.
Okay,
because
sure.
it's really, really quite, I think, important to understand this. So think of it can generate input out different material from what different input. So if you gave it a video of a bunch of birds flocking, okay,
maybe geese
flying.
Yeah, maybe
geese.
Okay,
maybe
that's a
geese,
great idea.
Right, there we go. All right, with geese, and they can, anyway, I'm going to go there. and that what it has done with this is they've shown examples of this is that it can then give a visual simulation and the code to create that visual simulation of the birds flocking together. So all you need to do is give it a video segment, and it gives you then the video. It produces an artificial simulation and the code to create it.
Oh, so if you wanted to create like the Battle of Middle Earth and you had a bunch of people coming on out there, you could ask the AI to make it a full battlefield and it put a whole bunch of AI-generated orcs and items on there?
I don't know where the capability will end right now, but that is their ultimate goal, I would imagine, is something like that. We'll talk about the 3 different versions, what's been released, and some of their goals.
Weta better watch out.
You're thinking about. I'm thinking about when they do stuff in video games and things like they need to show something in the background.
Yep. So you're talking way more than just green screen here. But okay. Keep on going. Sorry, Phil. We
could go off on this all day.
Okay.
It's crazy different stuff. So another one is an example they showed. They took a picture of two different balls of yarn, a pink and a blue ball of yarn. It identified that it was yarn and blue and pink, and it said and it asked it what kind of I make out of the blue and pink yarn, and it gave a picture of a knitted octopus.
Oh, okay.
They say you can make a blue and pink octopus out of it. So I mean, this thing has context across multi modes, video, images, these types of things. Another crazy one it did. So think how long this would take if you had to do this by hand or manually, right? It took 200,000 papers that they wanted to review for a certain set of DNA thing that they were researching, right? They set it through over lunch. It read 200,000 papers over an hour and a half. It identified the 200 papers that they wanted to read with the section to read and the citation.
Wow. So this is like the ultimate homework essay college student app just waiting to be written there, right?
I mean, it's insane. I mean, it doesn't just read the text; it reads the charts.
Oh, okay. So it takes the graphics and it'll go through and does it understand X and Y axes and everything?
Yes, and then it can create the data off of that. And what it did actually for this one, they gave it the original graph and said, okay, interpolate and make the algorithms for those graphs, and then add in the new data they just pulled and extend the graph.
So is this something Google's been having in their back burner for a while, waiting to come on out, or is this something that is pretty new on the market?
Well, this particular portion, we're going to talk about the different Google Nano and Ultra. Ultra is not released yet, and that's
Okay.
the one that can do all this that they're showing examples of.
Okay.
And that's going to release sometime in, they say, early 2024.
All right, so there's like 3 different versions, right? Oh boy, this is like buying an Apple phone. You get the SE version, or you get the Pro,
iPod,
or you get the Pro
iPod
Max,
Nano.
or you get the Plus. So the Nano is Nano the cheap end, and then the middle level. How are these 3 levels broken up,
so
and
it's
what do
actually-
you get?
It's actually more about processing power and size of data, size of information it can handle, or
Okay.
data sets.
Okay.
So Nano is going to go onto a Pixel 8 Pro.
Okay.
So it runs locally on the device, runs locally on the processor, and it can, help with smart assistants, personalized recommendations. It learns you,
Okay.
and they all want to learn you. We're going to talk later too. Google wants to learn you, right?
They sure do.
Because the next one to talk is Google Pro, right?
Okay.
Google Pro is the next one up.
Okay.
And that's available right now. If you log in to Bard and get access to Google's chatbot Bard, you have access to the AI engine for Gemini Pro.
Okay.
And then you can upload the video, you can upload images, you can ask it all sorts of different things. It integrates with the Google suite of products.
Okay.
So if I wanted to, I can say, like I did today, I was playing around with it. If I wanted to transcribe a YouTube video, I can take the link of the YouTube video, dump it in the chat, and say, please transcribe this video. Boom. And then all of a sudden it gives me the full transcript within a minute. And then I could say, instead, a different link, I can put it in there and say, summarize this video, a 10, 15-minute video. And it gives me a 1-pager summarization of the video.
Well, now you're whetting my appetite, because you know how much time it takes to do the AI aspects just for a Tech Time episode? I mean, it takes hours and hours to do that. So you're telling me I can put the video file in there, and it will come up with all the text and everything
Summary.
available.
All the tech, give you the transcription or the summary, whatever you want, or both. Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, and it integrates into your Google Mail now. This is where it learns everything about you, because it's reading all your mail.
Oh.
But it can, if you wanted to, you can integrate it into your Google Workspace.
Okay.
And then you can have it say, give me, what are the top 10 most important, give me, what are the emails, the subject lines I have today? It can list all the subject lines. It can summarize an email for you. It can pull out the tasks from that email and label the tasks for you.
Wow. Okay, this is getting exciting. All right, so tell me what the Pro what's the Max version? What's the
Ultra?
Ultimate?
It's Ultra now.
Okay,
Yeah,
Ultra. What is that going to do?
Yeah. Well, this is, again, additional processing power. Think server farm level processing.
Okay.
And this
It's
thing
going to
is gonna
farm
be
out
able-
all your stuff to other people.
It's going to do all my work. It's going to respond to all my emails. Give tasks to other people. You're going to start getting.
That's going to introduce
these
you to the
emails.
geese.
Mike, all of a sudden, it's going to say, "Can you please do these 18 tasks?" And I'll be like, "Fantastic."
Yeah,
I don't know what to do.
I'll be like, F you.
No, okay.
But-
All right.
but this is that level that we're talking about with the research papers, going through 200,000 papers, right?
Gotcha.
This is that type. Or it could go through huge spreadsheets of information and find data trends. It's a data analyst at this point in time. I mean, it's going to help with all sorts of different large scale simulation work. It's quite. It's quite interesting to me what they're going to do with this. I'm sure.
Okay, so the big question though, is this better than ChatGPT? You got Google Gemini here and ChatGPT right now. Who is the leader?
All right. Well, there's a hierarchy between the three.
Okay.
Okay. So you got ChatGPT 4.
Yep.
Right now.
Sam
All right,
Altman. Is that number one?
So Google Ultra is number one. Okay.
But it hasn't released yet, though, right?
But it's not released yet. That's the key.
Okay.
It
Well,
stays
then that's tough.
It's supposedly number one.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You don't know what OpenAI is going to release or ChatGPT's to counter that, right?
All right.
But right now, Google's claiming Gemini Ultra is the best. Then right now, what's out there working, ChatGPT 4 is still the king or the queen right now, right?
Okay.
And then Gemini Pro is next.
Okay.
And then Chat 3.5,
which is the freebie that anybody can sign up
the
for.
freebie that anybody can sign up for.
Is this something I can do while I'm sitting in my recliner and just chat with Alexa or something?
Well, it takes audio input, so you can talk to it. It has a microphone button on the interface, so you can talk to it. Yes, Mike, you can.
So you can, but you need to create a Bard account. So you need to go and create a Google Bard account, I believe, to get access to this. And you could have your best friend. You wouldn't need to ever have a significant
I feel
other.
like Alexa
you could have
would
Alexa be your significant
I feel like
other.
Alexa would be jealous.
Maybe. All right. Okay. So
even though she's not very conversation oriented.
All right. So tell me
She just
how
wants me to
again
buy stuff.
she always suggests stuff.
She always is suggesting that I buy stuff.
So she's just like my wife. Can I buy this? Can I buy this? Can I buy you new
No,
batteries?
no. She's like,
this.
hey, you should buy this. You should buy that.
All right.
Like,
So
no,
how
don't
can I
want that.
access Gemini Pro again? How do you do that, Phil?
If you don't have a Google account, you need to create a Google account first.
Okay.
And then you go to bard.google.com.
Okay.
And click sign up. And then you use your Google account and you're in. So,
And then they start tracking everything about you.
Well, that's it. They tell you right off of that everything you put in, don't put anything proprietary, because everything they do will be possibly reviewed by a human.
Okay.
Yeah,
Says it
you
right in
should
there.
probably not put in things either.
Social
that
security
are
number.
maybe
Well, that makes a
illegal,
difference. Because
or-
if you gave it to Paramount, essentially it's
you don't
available
wanna,
to
you
anybody.
don't want to be asking this thing about how to pull off the perfect murder or anything. I'm sure.
how do I bury somebody underneath
Yeah,
ground
how
and
do I
knock
get
a
rid of
cot?
it? Yeah, you know,
Put
how
the
do I
person's
knock
name
over
in there.
a bank? I don't know.
All right, what does the future hold for Gemini as we have this closing out here, Phil?
One of the things they're working on right now is co-programming. So you have an AI assistant to help you program. You give it the basics of what you want it to do, maybe with some core code, and then it'll expand upon that. So you're going to see the world of programming change over the next 2 years, I think, significantly on how people program and the use of this. You're going to see self-learning robotics, especially with Ultra. You're going to see how they learn and teach themselves tasks, especially with the co-programming piece. They go possibly even reprogramming some of them themselves. This is going to get very, very interesting and a little scary. And they're even working on, which I think is going to be very interesting, Mike, and I don't know how they're going to pull it off, but they're even looking for emotional intelligence in the future and physical interaction with robotics. So
I know an industry that's already doing it.
Wow.
So I think one of the other things that they're going to do is, which Google's already trying to do, is learn about you more and more. And so as they integrate all their Google products, they'll integrate pictures, I'm sure, in the future and everything. They want to learn about your entire life, and they want to create a digital AI. I mean, a digital
Avatar.
Yep.
An assistant, an avatar, but also an assistant that can just take
like
over.
Cortana, just is available there to help you.
I want to know what I want to know is what happens when it learns everything about you.
Yeah.
Then
does it just get bored of you?
What happens?
Well,
yeah.
you just then the robots just end up killing you.
Become self-aware.
Yeah, because then they're just like, we don't need this person anymore.
That's how Meta's gonna
take over the world.
Take over all these little AI bots of our personalities are going to become self-aware and go and live in Meta land.
All right.
Like, really scary when Elon Musk's brain chips are embedded in everybody, and then there's a general AI at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening to me.
That's only if you can continue to have money to fund those
I'm
programs.
not going to be doing
All
that
right,
to
well,
myself.
Phil, it was a pleasure to have you on the show. This is our last show for 2023. We'll definitely continue our chat with Chat.
We're in 2023, buddy.
2020. What did I say?
22.
Oh, 2023. So we will continue this conversation in 2024.
Sounds great. Had a blast.
Bye, Phil.
We want to thank Phil for joining our show. It's always a pleasure. Next week, you will want to join us as our feature segment is all about our prediction show. We'll have our guest, Nick Espinoza, back. We're going to go through with everybody in the studio on predictions and look back at what we predicted last year. That ends our segment, Chat with Phil. We're going to head to a commercial break. When we return, we will have This Week in Technology, of course, our Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, and many other aspects. See you in a bit. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on Patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm the English guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English language.
Okay, so it's
all the time.
It's Patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, you can subscribe to Patreon.com and help us out.
And you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook, too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
Tech Time Radio.
At Tech Time Radio.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's Tech Time Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at Tech Time Radio.
That's at Tech Time Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's Tech Time Radio.
It's at Tech Time Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social
Like
media.
us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, going in the Wayback Machine here. We're going to December 26, 1982. Exactly today.
1982.
1982. Time Magazine names a non-human Man of the Year. Time Magazine editor selected the personal computer for the Machine of the Year in lieu of the well-known Man of the Year award. The computer beat out U.S. President Ronald Reagan and U.K. Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. The planet Earth, though, became the second non-human recipient of the award in 1988. Well, nothing like planet Earth.
I remember
after computers.
those. I remember those.
All right, the award has been given since 1927. The magazine's essays reported that in 1982, 80% of Americans expected that in a fairly new future, home computers will be a commonplace as television sets or dishwashers. In 1980, 724,000 personal computers were sold in the United States.
Trash 80s.
I know. According to Time, the following year, that number doubled to 1.4 million. Now, do you realize that I'm in the studio right now. I have on me 3 computers. I got 2 cell phones in my pocket and a computer in front of me. So not only do I have, and then if I go home, I got so many more devices that are available there. So not only do I have one in my household, I probably have one for every 30 feet I walk.
I got 3 laptops at home.
Okay.
Plus the one I have with me right now. I've got 2 phones.
2 phones.
I got a gigantic smart television.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even include the smart TVs. I mean, so you realize that everybody has at least have it.
And I have a console.
Yeah,
a gaming console.
That's a computer too, with all the ability to load. So it's just amazing that almost everybody plus has essentially a computer in their possession or within a minute away of them.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was This Week in Technology. Have you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 180 weekly broadcasts spanning 3+ years of videos, podcasts, and blog information? You can visit techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows or join the Tech Timers Facebook group to talk with us live all the time. We're going to take a commercial break here, but when we return, we have Mark's Mumble Whiskey Review and our Technology Fail of the Week. See you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TECHTIME. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for, Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
Oh, boy. I see some empty glasses all the way around.
Boy, this stuff is good. Boy, there's a lot of alcohol content to this. Merry Christmas. All right, tell us what we're sipping here today, Mark.
Oh, what is today first?
It's
December 26th.
It's the recovery day after Christmas Day.
Odie?
Is it Kwanzaa?
No.
Oh, dang.
No. What is it? National Whiskey Celebration.
It's National I Regretted Christmas Day.
It's National Credit Card.
You guys are bad.
All right, what is that?
Well, one day I have to give a little side shout out. It's Boxing Day, so everybody knows
that's a Canadian holiday.
which is perfect since it's a Canadian. One of the Canadians celebrates it, and we have a box that this whiskey came in. But that's not what we're doing today. I found something more appropriate for you two.
Okay.
Today is National Winers Day.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
Now, let me tell you a little about it.
Okay.
We all know someone with incessant whining that even puts Moaning Myrtle to shame.
Oh, okay.
Your wife's going to like that shout out.
That's a Harry Potter shout out. I got it.
But on this day, everyone is encouraged to complain about anything that is bothering them, while you are allowed to grumble about your Christmas gifts and not receiving what you wanted or something an annoying relative said. It is, though, more important to focus on being grateful for all that you have and to appreciate the good things in life.
So I wasn't far off the mark when I was.
It's a wonderful life story.
when I was dartboarding the.
No, you weren't. Not too much.
Okay.
When you guys were whining, you were right on the mark.
There we go.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Mark.
Now, being National Whiners Day, I remember.
I'm grateful that you're calling me a whiner.
Well, I remembered when you used to whine about ryes, when you didn't used to like ryes. And that's what reminded me of this truly 100% rye from Alberta Premium Cask Strength.
What is this, like Mark's Revenge?
Maybe.
That's in the old days when you used to whine about ryes.
That's right. Okay.
I don't think I ever whined about ryes.
yes,
I didn't like rye.
You whine about everything.
You're right. Yeah, exactly.
How can you not whine
It's
about
not just rye.
Shut up.
Okay, continue
And then
on.
this being kind of high proof, Nathan always whines about those. So this was a perfect one to bring today.
Ooh, is it expensive?
Well, if you remember, it was only $80.
Only $80. No secondary market.
So you wouldn't whine about that?
Now, it doesn't have a cork top.
Yeah, he would.
It's got a screw
It
top.
does have a screw top, which
He
is
would
amazing
totally
for
whine.
$80.
Yeah.
You kind of want to figure you'd have a cork top on there.
Yeah, so before we talk about the whiskey, let's talk about an interesting tidbit about Canadian rye whiskey.
Okay.
So in general, you can call something Canadian rye whiskey, but it's not required to be actual rye whiskey in Canada.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so a long time ago, wheat whiskey was king when the grain was abundant. Dutch and German immigrants arrived in Canada and started adding rye grain to that wheat mash. It became so popular, people started asking for that rye whiskey. Now, corn was later replaced the wheat, but the nickname stuck. Some producers have gradually shifted to labeling their whiskey Canadian whiskey instead of Canadian rye, but some still say Canadian rye when it's not a true rye whiskey as the definition of 51% rye or more. Now, this one is 100% Canadian rye, so it is a true rye whiskey.
Perfect.
Now, today, I am excited to say I finally made my dad happy.
Made your dad happy.
As I'm finally able to give a thumbs up, a big thumbs up to a Canadian whiskey.
Oh, there you go.
So I found one that actually deserves it, and I'm happy to raise this whiskey to toast my heritage.
There you go.
Are you Canadian or a whiner?
No.
Heritage, Mike. So both my parents are Canadian, French-Canadian.
All right.
Well, that's perfect. You know what? Nothing like whiskey and technology. Such a great pairing. Just like the pairing of diets and gym memberships for New Year's resolutions. All right, let's get ready now for our Technology Fail of the Week, brought to you by Elite Executive Services.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Speaking about this week's technology fail comes to us from Burger King in Brazil. This is hilarious. In Brazil, Burger King says that it's essentially doing benefits for hangovers and other headache issues that happen during the holidays. It's essentially, they're doling out the hangover Whoppers, using a face recognition to determine whether you drank too much the night before. The Brazilian wing of Burger King announced a surveillance technology marketing stunt this week, calling it the Hangover Whopper Celebration. The booze-filled days between Christmas and New Year's with face recognition. All you have to do is hold up your blurry-eyed visions to the camera, and the company says that its face scanning software will judge how hungover you look and hand out a coupon based upon that.
So you can get a coupon to buy a Whopper for being.
Well, hang on. It also says your image can be used for marketing and other promotions, along with forfeiting any privacy while using the app. So that's right in there in big, bold letters. They don't even hide it. They essentially just put it out there. So even if you're drunk, you realize that once you do that,
that's a perfect thing to market to drunk people.
Yeah, welcome.
They're like, yeah, I'll do anything.
Welcome to the future of nice promotional items outside of the area. Yes, we have BK essentially presents the Hangover Whopper, a technology that scans your level and offers a discount on the ideal combo to help you combat that hangover. Now, the stunt runs until January 2nd. Now, I actually got on my VPN and actually signed up to do this. So I
You
took a
would.
picture of myself and
You
I tried
would.
to look as drunk as I could. And essentially, I gave permissions to access my iPhone camera, all my photo libraries. And I had to give everything it can track my calendar, my contact
crazy.
list. I mean, essentially, Burger King just said, we're going to do this app.
I'm
We're
pretty
gonna give
sure
you a
you
discount.
can't determine the amount of hangover based on facial recognition.
Well, you know what? Guess what?
I have personally not heard of this before, but I'm going to dispute that this is an actual.
Well, no, it does. It
scientific
does because
thing.
it only offered me a double Whopper Junior as my hangover type of deal, and it only rated me as 1 out
So
of
you
5
fooled
on
it.
the hangover scale. So I did not look like
You fooled it.
I didn't look like I had a hangover because it only gave me a 62-cent discount for me to go and buy that double Whopper Junior.
Okay, well.
So I think if I was more
So
drunk,
if you just look bloodshot, if your
Yeah.
eyes are bloodshot and you've got
like droopy
the
mouth,
you got the symptoms of somebody who either has been going on a bender or
Yeah.
hasn't slept for 2 days,
then you
straight.
can earn all the way up to a free Burger King Ultimate Whopper that would be available to you. So the
There
more
is
drunk you look,
there is nothing better than that.
You should take your picture now.
So there you go. That's
No
perfect.
kidding.
Yeah. All right.
There is no cure for hangover.
There
by
is
the
no
way.
cure?
No, everybody has a cure, but there is no cure. But
Isn't it
time.
just eating lots of meat?
It's just time. Your
saturating?
your liver is basically having to heal up from the damage
For the damage you did to it. All right. You know what? Let's now go to the Mike's mesmerizing moment.
Oh.
This is Mike's mesmerizing moment, presented by Story Coffee.
You're not going to
Visit
ask me.
StoryCoffee.com. How do you feel about New Year's resolutions, Mike?
Why are you asking me about how I feel about it?
Well, that's because it says, how do you feel about New Year's resolutions?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of nonsensical.
Okay. They last how long?
The average resolution lasts maybe 12 weeks.
Maybe 12 weeks.
12 days.
12 days.
12 days.
12 days.
Sorry,
Okay.
12 days,
I was
not
gonna say
12 weeks.
I
That's,
was going to say
that's
I was
too
gonna
many
say
weeks.
What is that? 3 months?
That's too many months.
12 days?
12 days.
12 days.
Yes.
So kind of as long as the 12 days of Christmas.
Everybody, this is one of those social situations that drives part of our economy, right?
Yeah.
So we've got all this holiday stuff where we're binging on everything.
Yep.
Alcohol, food, money spending, things
Yep.
like that. And so we have this idea where New Year's the start of a brand new you.
Yep.
And we've padded it with this idea that resolutions come in there and blah blah blah.
Okay.
And people buy into this and they start gym memberships and then behaviorally it takes about 12 days before they stop going.
You hate them, don't you? New Year's resolutions?
I don't think they're useful.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right. Let's now move to the Nathan Nugget. This is my rant.
This is your
What do you
nugget of
want to
the
rant
All
week.
right, so I talked about this at pre-show, right? I was trying to find Beverly Hills Cop, right, on all these different platforms.
Yeah, you were whining.
You know, there's 5 apps that merge all your streaming
National Whiners
subscriptions.
Day.
It was perfect. Subscription services into one. Lately, essentially, I've had nothing but trouble trying to watch it. If you go to an app called Just Watch, it is a streaming guide for movies, TV shows, and sports. This is the one that has sports online where you can watch trending items, or it can even come up with suggestion. The platform includes Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, Hulu, HBO Max, and more. So if you need to be searching at one spot, all you have to do is give your personal recommendations based on what you watched on the platform. They'll track your information and they'll come up with suggestions. Now, if you want to get Just Watch, it's available on your Android and iOS device. It is not available for your PC.
Is this like a shared Netflix thing?
Well, no.
Meaning this Just Watch has subscriptions to all these services.
So you don't add so you just add the app, and then it takes all of your existing services that you have. You have to type in all your account information.
Oh, so
and
if
then
I
it
don't
serves it-
have HBO,
then you don't have to
Max,
add it.
Then that's not going to
It
show
won't.
up.
That's correct. All right. So there's another one that's called Play On. Now this service is a primary aggregate of the popular platforms Netflix, Disney, Hulu, ABC, Fox, and other TV stations. And on this Play On, you don't have to worry about ads or anything else. You can just enjoy the show It works on a mobile device, so if you have a Roku, Chromecast, or Fire TV, you can load this app, and instead of going to your Netflix or your Paramount Plus, all you do is go to Just Watch, and you can watch it available there.
No, that's not Just Watch.
All right, here we go. Now, the last but not least, we have Q'd. The platform's quite a bit different. Q'd automatically brings everything into one platform. You have to pay $39 a month for this app, but it works on both the web, Android, and iOS apps itself. So, I gave you 3 of the 5 top areas out there. You got Q'd, you got all these different, so you can now have one app to run all of your shows.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our pick of the day.
Subscription service. Another subscription.
No,
And now
that's
our
only
pick
for
of the
last.
day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right, what do we have for our pick of the day here?
Today we have Alberta Premium Cast Strength Rye.
All right, what do you think? I give it a thumbs up.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up. The initial bite from the first sip was really big, but after that,
I like the alcohol content.
It's yummy.
Too. It's
I
good.
want our viewers that are watching to put any comments if you've had this or any other whiskey that you're looking to have on the show.
Oh, that's a great idea. Put it in your
Hey, do
comments
your
of our
science,
videos.
Science of tomorrow.
The science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.